everyone, and welcome to Crafternoon To Go, presented by Chatham-Kent Public Library. My name is Amy, and I work at the Chatham branch. I hope to guide you along on our next adventure together. Our Crafternoon videos will be posted on the third Monday of each month on Facebook and on YouTube. Kits will be available for registration by contacting us at askkpl.ca. You can call by phone at 519-354-2940. You can email us at cklibrary@chatham-kent.ca, by Facebook message at CK Library, in person at your local branch, or register yourself online at search.ckpl.ca. Carve out some time for us to craft together. Let's get started. Hello everyone. We're just going to demonstrate what goes into your kit this April for our Crafternoon To Go. So this month you'll get 2 portion cups of different colored paints, 2 strings pre-cut for you to length. There's 1, there's 2. And 6 pieces of cardstock, both in white and off-white. And that's what comes in your kit this month. To get started, we are going to open our paint pots and pour just a bit onto our plate. Yes, that's right. So the paper plate was not in the kit, but highly recommended. If it's not a paper plate, you can reuse a regular plate. These are acrylic paints and will wash up nicely with soap and water. So I have my green and our yellow. Your colors might be just a bit different, but of course, as always, we love different when it comes to our artwork. So a little bit there. There's enough paint to do quite a few projects. So as long as you keep it covered and set it aside, it should stay nice and liquid for you for a little bit of while. Step 2, we're gonna just move the paper out of the way a little bit, and I'm going to put the paint in the center. I am going to start with one of my strings, and what I'm going to do is drag it through. I'm going to start with green and drag it through our green today. Try not to get paint right to the ends of the strings. So our goal is to have at least somewhere for us to hold on to the string without getting too messy. It will be very possible that you will get paint on your hands. Not to worry, like I mentioned, these are acrylic paints that we've picked up at the dollar store, so they do come clean with soap and water. Okay, so step 2, drag your paint and your string through the paint, just like so. It doesn't have to be drenched in paint, just as long as we get some along the length of our string. I've seen some demonstrations where they add a little bit of water, so if you find that your paint's a little on the thick side, feel free. Just a dot or 2 of water will do it. But that there is my string with green paint. Step 2, put the paint aside, put our paper in the center there, and we're going to start laying the string down as however you like it. So you can have curly cues, you can have straight parts, but wherever there's paint on the string, that's where you're going to lay it down. So that's where mine is today. I can actually do 2 colors at once. So for some fun, let's experiment. Take my string number 2, I'm going to drag that through our yellow paint, making sure I get paint down the length of it. This is almost 2 times, getting all the effect in one. The best part of this kind of craft is that you can experiment as you go along and see your results. And there we go. So I'm going to take my yellow and I'm going to go this way and create a loop and come up towards the top. So both of my strings are on my cardstock. I'm going to take my second piece of cardstock, lay it on top the two, gentle pressure with my hand, and I'm going to pull one string straight out, and I'm going to pull the other string straight out. This is where the magic happens. Once I lift off my paper, I should have not just one, but two pieces out at once. So we've got some great splotches there. I can continue and add more. I really like how the yellow and the green go together. So I'm gonna see what I can do about adding some more yellow on the opposite side. These almost take the shape of a beautiful calla lily. You can fill in some of the detail if you'd like with a marker once the paint dries, if you really think it does turn into a flower. So I'm just gonna dip again into the yellow paint, and I'm gonna lay my item down this way here. Curl as I would like to fill in some white space. Now, if you remember right, this was my top piece. So I'm just gonna go back and mirror it on top again to my bottom. So it really doesn't matter what's your top or what's your bottom, as long as you know that when you pull, you'll have some color. Pull that apart again. And there we go. And if you feel you need a little more green, which I might take advantage of, spin my color around, move my yellow string, add a little bit of the green, dip it into the paint. And remember, it doesn't have to be heavy on the paint, so if you feel it might be too much, feel free to not wipe some off, but just dab it off there. Take a look at your image, and I'm gonna try to, this is great. Great way to use your creativity. I'm gonna try, you might wanna wait for it to dry in between, but I'm gonna see if I can get some color blending here. So I'm gonna just lay this down in and around my yellow, just like that. Lay the two on top of each other again, and we'll see what happens. A little bit of pressure laying it on top and pulling it through. How fast you pull, it's up to you. At first I was a little hesitant and went slow. As I get more confident with doing this, I'm finding I'm pulling the string faster and faster, but let's see how we did. Excellent. Looks like we're almost getting ourselves a little bouquet of flowers. So once that's done, you're more than welcome to continue with your other papers while these ones dry. And if you're wondering what you could do with these, there's some great ideas to make these into birthday cards, Mother's Day cards, bookmarks, or just frame them as they are. Make sure you sign and date them so that you can show off your artwork to everyone. Curious in how to make your artwork into a card? Quick and easy steps. Just a little added bonus for your Crafternoon To Go. So what we'll do, this here is a half sheet of cardstock that you may already have at home. So that would be an 8.5 by 11. Cutting that in half will give us a 5.5 by 8.5 sheet of paper, of which you can fold in half, matching corner to corner, and that'll give you your card base. Then you can choose which art piece you feel will be best, and it will actually mount either exactly to the top there, or you can do a little bit of trimming if you want a little bit of a border to be up and around. So for my liking, what I'll do is I will trim a little bit so we can get ourselves a bit of a frame around our artwork. Remember, make sure that your art has dried so that when you flip this over to add the glue, you won't find yourself sticking to your tabletop. Doesn't take much to trim this up because we want just the slightest of borders. Just a little bit. If you don't have the steadiest of hands to do this, feel free to take the ruler, draw yourself a little bit of a equal border around, so that way you don't have to worry about being off center at all. I'm just gonna eyeball it here for myself. I've gone around all the sides here, snooped it off, clean up my mess, and then I can actually lay it down onto my card base and give myself a little bit of a frame. So all you need now is a little bit of glue stick applied to the back, like getting my edges so they can stay flat. A little bit in the center so we don't have any buckling. Close my glue stick. And it's up to you, however you feel your artwork looks best. I really like the yellow pointing up. So I will lay that down, centering it up onto my card base. Give yourself a little bit of a wiggle room. And there you have it. You've just made yourself a lovely card to give all your intentions, and your letter of loveliness will go inside the card, and this should fit a standard envelope, 5.5 or 5 3/4 by 4 3/4 envelope. And then it's all set to go. Thank you everyone for joining us for Crafternoons To Go. Time to sign off. We'll see you next month. Bye now.